Sup?
You right?
So Rich, where are we going today?
Going to Clevedon, innit?
Clevedon! Clevedon!
Basically where I think
Half the church
85% of the church come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we seeing in Clevedon? There's a few.
We're seeing the newlyweds.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Coopers?
Yeah, the Coopers.
Oh,
Off to
wow.
see the Coopers.
Off to see the Coopers.
Job and Rich.
In a Mini Cooper.
Yeah, in the Cooper to see the Coopers.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Well, now we go now? Like now or?
Yeah, no.
Right now?
Yeah, right
Okay.
now. Yeah, you can go. Oh, guys, if you didn't know, we got Grace in the back.
Oh, there she is.
Offended.
Hi, Ashlee.
You alright?
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Here we are.
Come in.
Hi guys.
Hi Rich.
Thanks for letting us come to your house.
You're welcome.
It's a lovely house, by the way.
It is very nice, isn't it?
The view isn't that great, which I,
Yeah,
That's
pretty
rubbish.
rubbish.
one of the worst views I've ever seen.
Wouldn't come back.
Yeah, awful. How's the married life been so far?
I still like him.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
it's a good
good.
start.
Yeah, George, you're not saying anything, mate. Just sighing a lot there.
It's been tough.
Yeah.
But that's been really good.
It's been good.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Awesome.
I think it's everything I expected and not as well. Yeah, it's just been really nice.
Yeah.
Nice to be together
Yeah.
properly. And there's no just, I think, properly in God's hands. I know we're in God's
Yeah.
hands with it, but
Yeah.
to really be, I feel like we're really His.
Yep.
Set apart.
Yeah.
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 All good.
All good.
Good. Yeah. Brilliant. Cool. So I haven't got to come and have any meetings with you yet or anything. It's all
yet.
good. Yeah. Good. So we're here because we're travelling around to visit people from the church, and we just kind of like want to not only just come and see people where they're at with their houses and where they live and things like that, but also kind of just the fact that people do travel quite far from the church. So we're going to ask you just three questions, and then I'll hand it over to you. So the first question is, how did it come about for you to come to our church?
We're quite desperate, really, weren't we?
Yeah.
This is before we were married.
We just wanted to hang out with other Christians, and all the churches had shut their doors, and we were just desperate to kind of be around worship and fellowship, and where that wasn't available, we were crying out for it, and then
Crying out in prayer, crying out our spirits.
and crying out on
Just
the beach.
frustrated.
Quite on the beach.
And literally, and many people have heard the story, but literally praying on the beach out loud with other Christian people we happened to bump into quite late at night. And then,
And Nick appeared.
Nick appeared out of nowhere. Obviously, he'll tell you that he was practicing this to God's voice and felt prompted to leave that night to go to the beach quite late. So it was a very, in our perspective, instantaneous answer to prayer.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was in the works and there was a lot to it. Though, I think God saw our hearts and wanted to accommodate. And obviously, it's not just us, is it? There's a multitude of people who've been brought into the space who've probably had the same heart cry.
Yeah.
It's just a complete...
and where church was previously like our local community as well, we were just desperate no matter where it was.
So that's the second question is, you guys live in Clevedon, it's quite a long journey.
Depends who's driving.
Yeah, it can be a quick journey, but it's still long. Do you, obviously you've kind of already answered, but the fact is, Nick said to us that he had met you. He put that on the group, and he'd not long been in the church himself. But he said, "Oh, these guys might come next week," and you guys did come next week. But to me, I'm like, yeah, but that's not likely. Like Nick, the fact that Nick was coming was more because I think he was at that first time. He was more maybe intrigued by what was going on. For you guys to kind of have to kind of travel all the way from Cleveland to come to church as well, and then Nick and Kathy to do the same thing, to kind of be like, well, we want to come here. This is was kind of unusual for us to do that. So we weren't really necessarily expecting, even though you'd said, oh, we will be there. Yeah. We weren't necessarily expecting to turn up. So what made you feel like, yeah, we're going to travel that far and then to continue coming for the last year or so?
Just being fed, I think.
Yeah. And
having that sort of unified thirst and hunger for truth, and it's not compromise. We just met where we're at.
Yeah. It wasn't compromise.
We weren't really in a good space. A lot of stuff we brought in, and you discussed that in the past, maybe in sermons or just one-to-one with people. We're bringing stuff in because we're not being fed. But anyway, yeah, it was amazing to meet all similar people. Yeah. Who wanted the same thing. That is to really honour God. Yeah. And seek Him with everything they got. What would you like to say?
I was going to say, you actually formed a really amazing relationship with Nick and Kathy as well. Obviously, I know they're local, but like even through that process, isn't it? Like you've come into a church new, but also came in not far behind people that were new. But actually, you've actually been able to form friendships and stuff through that. Yeah. Like, how's that been? Like actually to kind of come into a place. Sometimes you think, oh, church is established. Like you kind of have to work your way in, but actually quite quickly you were building and forming relationships with people.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted, isn't it?
And I think for you it was most important because where there was relationships maybe on the surface level where we previously went, but there was also relationships that were formed like from when you were a child, was that actually it was the first time, and I remember you saying like I can actually have these really deep friendships and consistent friendships as well. We're all on the same page.
That's what we spoke about for ages, about always wanting Christian friends, but never seeing it come. And we wasn't necessarily born again for very long, but there's something always on the conversation, like, well, where are like solid, born again friends who want to stand for truth and meet and pray and worship. Yeah. And it's just been amazing to have that, and some of the people we've met, it's just been awesome. Yeah. Just to really have like a genuine, heartfelt, and it's family, a proper family feel.
We're prepared to go deeper than just the surface level. How are you? Conversation.
Don't have to see them for a while, and we can see them. So nothing's really. Yeah.
But what's amazing? Do you not think what's amazing like about that is, like that's formed. Sometimes we say, oh, we've had friendships that they go back to when we were at school, or they go back to when we were at a job, and so you can say like I've known someone for so long and they're a really good friend and we meet up, but like you've actually got really good friendships with people that you've not known that long, but it's like because they know Jesus, it makes it so easy. Yeah. But that's quite amazing, isn't it? Like that actually anyone that's looking for a church or anyone that's looking for what you guys were looking for, actually if you just find a place where people are just for Jesus, those friendships, those relationships, that family can be very quickly passed on to you or given to you, because like that wasn't planned, was it? It wasn't like, oh...
No, but we needed it. Yeah. And God knew that. Yeah. But
also, I guess those guys needed it too. Those that have connected with you, those that have made friendships with you, it's both ways, isn't it? Friendships are both ways. So people are looking for it too as well. And God's like, okay, let's put you all together and you're all going to meet each other's needs, in that way. Yeah. So I think that's quite cool as well, to think someone that didn't even know you was a complete stranger, that wasn't really even going to our church properly, they were actually just coming, they'd only just started coming just to check it out really, but they wouldn't actually come in as a committed part of the church, invited you to come to church as strangers to him, and then out of that very quickly you guys really formed a friendship and a bond. I found out this week that you were taking a hot chocolate to Sophia when she wasn't very well and things like that. Like these are people you didn't know near enough this time last year, so that's quite incredible, isn't it, that you've got friendships and relationships and care for people that God's just put in your path. I love that about God and how God can do that. So like you said, that thing, you're like, where is this, where is that? Well, it's always there. Like God can, it's always there. It's just Jesus has to be the thing that links us together.
Yeah.
Last question is what's been your highlights, or what's been your what have you taken from the last year? What kind of experiences have you had, and
We got married.
what kind of things have got? Yeah, that's quite a big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 Got married. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that was just evidence again of the church gathering around people when they need it and would like it as well. And it's a testimony to kind of how we all band together as Christians and care for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the epitome of it all.
What was the last question again?
Yeah, like what's been the highlights, or what have you taken? What have you taken from this year? Like, what's God done in you, or what things? Obviously, the wedding is a big thing, but
massive challenges.
Yeah. What about your own walks as well with God? Like where you were this time last year to where you are now.
Doctrinally, just unsound things have fallen away.
Yeah.
Still being challenged. You know, there's still things in me. I think, well, I'd like to see that in the church, and I don't agree with that. But it's like you have to be reminded quite often. You said it, and Ian says it about this. This is a messy group.
Yeah.
In reality, you know, we all want truth. We all want sound teaching, but we've all got baggage. We've all got this understanding, that understanding, and trying to sort of wade through that and feel like you're really in the truth is like, especially quite critical like myself.
Yeah.
And overthinking a lot. Not helpful,
No.
but it's been amazing to be challenged and to have that and to just get humbled quite a lot and say sorry quite a lot.
Yeah.
And to people.
I think as well, like we can sometimes see what the church can be and what things can happen, but equally we can't. What I'm learning is we can't fast track what God is doing in His timing, because He wants people to come with on the journey. And sometimes we're like, yeah, we're ready for this, but God's like, yeah, but they're not. And then sometimes they might be ready and we're not. And it's like understanding that actually, if we are talking about being a family, we need to do this together. So it's like, yeah, we know that can come, but actually we need to get there first. And we go. Everything I'm seeing with the church over the last year is that God is taking us through a process, but we're learning lessons all the time. We're not just sat there going, I think we've got it now. I think we've arrived. I think this is what we're looking for. Like there's moments where we're satisfied with things, but actually we're kind of in a place where we're always going to be learning. God's always got, I've got a new thing to teach you this time. I've got a new, if we're willing to let Him do that. So we will get to places that we think God wants us to get to, but we won't get there on our agenda or our way. It would be through God's timing. So that's kind of what we've seen the last year as well.